Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives. You're here for the live taping of them. But you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're on the video, click on the live button, and that should welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. You received in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Klopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at learnpianolive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started. Welcome back to kidslearnpianolive.com. My name is Jamin.
And this is ASMR. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
My goodness. That would be such a disgusting ASMR. I guess that's the thing that people do, huh?
Yeah.
Listening to people eat food. It's pretty disgusting. So I'm going to mute my mic and introduce the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? I'm sure you guys are probably not super excited about my book writing ventures, but I have more to share. I just gave it to 2 of my close friends to read, and then I'm going to start a brand new story on April 1st.
Oh,
And then
okay.
there's this thing called Camp NaNoWriMo. It's like a writing thing.
Okay.
And the goal is to write like however many words you want in the span of April. So I'm going for 25,000 words.
Yeah, no problem.
on
You'll hit that. You'll hit that in the first week. I have no doubt.
I think that's impossible, but thank you.
Well, today. Oh, good.
Did you just drop it? Ew.
It's probably fine. Today we're doing the song 5 Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed.
I think Cloth will be
Sorry. All right. One fell off, bumped his head. Mama called the doctor. You know how it goes. So, let's learn how to play the song. The very first note that we need is probably the most important note on the piano. It's a middle C. So in order to find a middle C, we're going to take any group of 2 black notes, like those, or those, or those. We need food for every lesson we do. This is wonderful. We should just start by like a pie that has to do with our song somehow. I want pie now. I want pie always. The group of 2 black notes, sorry. And you take the left one in a group of 2. So just don't use a group of 3 and you should be fine. So any group of 2 black notes, take the one that's on the left, that's that side right there, and drag it down until you land on a white note. That's gonna land you on a C every single time. And C, like I said, is probably the most important note on the piano. So we're gonna take that C and play 2 of those. And while we do that, we're gonna say 5 lit. Cool. And then for the second half of the word little, I'm gonna say tull, we need to go to an E. So you could either count up to an E if you want, or just skip over a note and you'll land on an E every single time. So play that C, skip over a note, and you'll land on an E. Then if we skip over another one, we get the next note that we need, which is a G, and that's mon. And then one more G is gonna be keys. So already we have the first like little phrase of the song. 5 little monkeys. One more time. 5 little monkeys. And then we're gonna go to the note that's right next to the one that we started on. So maybe for right now, that's all you're gonna practice is just that thing right there until that's all nice and smooth. That's great. When you're ready to move on, then we're gonna play the note that's right next to the C. One up from there would be a D. And just like we did before, we're gonna skip over a note. So we're gonna go from the D up to an F, and then down one note, down one note, down one note until we land back on that C. So all these just go straight down. So we gotta jump on the word jump, actually. We're gonna jump from the D, jump up to the F, and then walk it down, walk it down, walk it down. So that along with the track would sound something like this. That's a good banana. 1, 2, ready, go. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. Cool, then we're gonna use the same ideas there, that walking down thing and also the skipping around thing to play these ones. So one fell off and is the same thing you've already played up here, the C and the E and the G thing. So one fell off and then we're gonna do that walking down thing, but instead of going all the way down to a C, we're gonna go all the way down to a D and then just stop there. So it's like if you played that first line, but just didn't make it down to that C. Bumped his head. So don't go down to the C. Then we're gonna go to the highest note that we played. So again, maybe that's all that you're practicing, just those first 2 lines. After you've paused and practiced the video, then make sure you come back and we'll play this all together. Just the first 2 lines, that's the first assignment, to try to get those things down. It's kind of tough because there's a lot of jumping around and then the walking down thing, but it would sound something like this. Go ahead and play along with us. Play all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the rest. 2, 3, 4, 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. And then one fell off and bumped his head. Cool, that's the first 2 lines. The next ones are probably gonna be easier than the first ones because we're just gotta go to the highest note that we've played, and that was a G, and we're gonna play 4 of those. Mama called the. Then we're gonna go down 1 note and play 4 of those. Doctor and the. So all together, that's Mama called the doctor and the. Next, this is probably the trickiest part of the ending, but you can do this if you've already played the beginning part. Doctor said is E, G, D. Again, make sure you're pausing and practicing wherever you need to. E, G, D. And then we're going to play the very last thing is going to be 5 Gs. You've already played those. And then walk it straight from the G all the way down to the C. Jumping on the bed, straight down. So let's try all 4 of those lines together. Make sure you're pausing the video and practicing all the little sections that you need, so when you come back, we can all play this together. Play all the notes you can. Don't worry about the rest. Let's go. And a 2. And a 1, 2. Ready, go. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. That's the whole thing. So if you can do the walking down thing, that helps you out a whole lot with the first hand. This will be our last time through. But if you can, what I was gonna say is if you can do the walking down thing and the skipping up thing, that's almost the entire song. It's either skipping up or walking down almost the whole time. Let's go one more time. Play all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the rest. 1, 2, ready, go. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. So again, you don't have to be able to play the entire song by now. You can practice this as much as you want. And we're gonna go on to level 2, 3, 4, and 5. But before we do that, Kendra, tell us about our weekly activity.
This week is the treble clef spelling, and if you write the names of the notes, they all spell words. Find the words and tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for an extra 150 bonus points from our mascot penguin Klopple.
And that's a great activity if you are wanting to try to go from level 1 to level 2, because that's where all that treble clef stuff shows up. It's now time for our feature of the day. And last time we played a crazy game called Augmented or Diminished. That was really insane. This is kind of like the slightly easier version of Augmented or Diminished, but still a little bit tricky. Here's how it works. I'm going to play you 2 chords. One of them is going to be a major chord, and it should sound kind of like a happy-ish sound, and one of them is going to be a minor chord. And you got to tell me which one is which. Am I playing a major chord or a minor chord? So the major chord should sound kind of like a happy song, and then the minor chord should sound like kind of dark and scary and sad and depressed. Okay, it doesn't always work out that way, but in general, that's the way it goes. And Kendra's gonna jump in with us. You guys can't see the notes that I'm playing now, so I'm gonna play the chord, and you tell me, is that a major chord or is that a minor chord, and see if you can get more of them correct than Kendra does. Let's try this one to start with. So these notes right here. Do those sound like a major chord or a minor chord? Kendra, what do you think?
Major?
Yeah, should have sounded like a kind of happy-ish sound. So that is a major chord. What about this one here?
I feel like this one's a trick one.
This is a little bit tricky. Okay, what do you think, Kendra?
I think it's still major.
It is still major.
It sound sad.
It's really, really low on the piano, so that makes it sound like dark and but it could still be a happy song. It's still a major chord, even though it's really low. Okay, what about this one right here? Is this one major or is it minor?
And Kendra, what do you think?
Well, I feel like since it's high, it would be major, but it doesn't sound major. It sounds minor.
You're right. So this one's a tricky one, too. This is also a sad, scary, depressing one. So that one is also a minor chord, and that is our feature of the day. That was major minor, which means it's time for Mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the Mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And today's from Colby, who says, Dear Jamin, how do I know when I'm ready for the next level? Well, if you're talking about Clopple Academy, you will get an email that says, congratulations, you're ready for the next level, and it will give you access to the next level. But if you're talking about the next level on Kids Learn Piano Live, these broadcasts, it's kind of like whenever you feel like you might want to try some of it, and you don't have to do the whole next level. You can always just try like a note or two of it. So let's do this. Whatever level you're on right now, when we get to the next level that's higher than the one that you usually do, just see if you can pick up like one note out of that or maybe two notes out of that and just add that into the version that you're doing, because you don't have to do the whole level. If you're on level 2 and you want to add in a little bit of left hand, you don't have to do all of level 3. You could just add in one note or something. So when we get to the next level, you try just a little tiny bit of that one. If you keep doing that week after week, pretty soon you'll be doing the whole level and you'll be wondering, maybe I'm ready for that next level after that. But a lot of times as you're like working through that stuff, you'll pick up a lot of extra like music theory and stuff that we don't really intend to teach you in the songs, but you kind of pick it up anyway. And a lot of that's just like, secret information.
Secret information.
And this week, in our secret information folder, we have some stuff that not everybody knows. In fact, even people who've been playing a long time don't know these things. That's why it's secret information. The first thing is, that in this particular song, we have what's called a 5-finger pattern. Now, if you're in Clopple Academy, even level 1, you're doing 5-finger patterns, which means it's patterns of notes that use just 5 fingers. So even though in level 1, we don't talk about it, you could play all of these notes by using this 5-finger pattern right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, this works with any song that just uses 5 notes. And that's a lot of songs that we do. Just use 5 notes or less. Some of them use only 3 or 4 notes. So you can do this with instead of having to move your hand all around, if you just put your thumb on the bottom, your pinky on the top, and let your other fingers fill in the middle, then you can use that one pattern and play the whole thing. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. All with that one hand position. I barely even moved at all. I just had to move some of my fingers. So look out for 5-finger patterns. The next thing in our folder is that you can skip repeating notes. Oh yeah, and actually, you might not have even noticed this, but when I just played it right now, that super, super fast version, you were probably like, whoa, we played that really, really fast. But the truth is, I didn't really play it that fast because I was skipping a whole bunch of notes. If you go back and you play it, you'll notice there were a bunch of words where I said them and I didn't play them. Because whenever you have a note that repeats a whole bunch of times, as a piano player, if you're a singer, you actually have to sing all of them. But as a piano player, you can usually just skip those repeating notes. So when I get to a section like this, Mama called the, I'm usually just going to play that first G and not even play the ones after that. And that F, I might not even play those. So if you're going really slow, Mama called the doctor and you could play all of them. But if you're going really fast, Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, I only played one of those. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said. So anyway, if you've got a whole bunch of repeating notes, if it's really hard to do, then just skip the other ones. But again, don't tell anyone else because that's secret information, as is the winner of the raffle. right, congratulations. Let us know what prize it is that you want. Let's go on to level 2.
Transitioning to level 2. This may be confusing to level 1 students, so please continue to practice the level 1 version or visit learnpianolive.com/level 2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.